Title: The Apartment Above. When I first moved into the building on Westbrook Lane, I thought it was just another cheap apartment in the city. A little rundown peeling paint, creaking floorboards, but affordable. And I needed a fresh start. The first week was uneventful. Just unpacking boxes and exploring the narrow hallways. I met a few neighbors, an elderly woman who always smelled of cinnamon, a young couple who argued quietly in the evenings, and a man who I barely saw but whose door was always closed. I never got his name. It was the second week when I started noticing the noises. At first, I dismissed them. Small things, a thump above my ceiling, a scraping sound. A faint whisper at night, but nothing I could place. The landlord told me the building was old, and it settles at night. Then one night I heard a different sound, footsteps, slow, deliberate, pacing back and forth. Only this time it wasn't coming from the floor above. It was inside my apartment. But I lived alone. I froze. The sound stopped. My heartbeat echoed in the silence. I checked the doors and windows. All locked. Nothing out of place. I tried to convince myself it was just stress. The kind you feel when you're alone in a new city. But deep down I knew that sound wasn't in my head. Over the next few days, I started noticing more strange things. My things weren't where I left them. A book on the table would be on the floor the next morning. A jacket hung neatly when I swore I left it crumpled on a chair. And always the faint sound of pacing, never loud, just enough to make the air feel heavier. I decided to set up a small camera in my living room. One of those old security cameras you can watch on your phone, just to be sure. I laughed at myself for doing it, but better safe than paranoid, right? The first night, I got nothing. The footage showed me asleep on the couch, the room quiet. But the next night, the camera caught something I wasn't ready to see. Around 3:17 a.m., the feed showed a shadow moving across the room. Slow, careful. It paused at the bookshelf, then slowly turned toward the couch. My breath caught. I reached for my phone, but my hands trembled. The shadow moved closer, and then, impossibly, my own body on the couch raised its head. Its eyes weren't mine. I gasped. The feed went black. I rushed to the living room. Nothing. Empty. Silent. I thought I was losing it. I almost told myself to ignore it, to forget everything. But the noises continued, louder now, more insistent. The pacing, whispers, and worst of all, soft knocking on the ceiling. As if someone wanted me to hear them but not see them. I called the landlord. "There's no one else living here," he said, voice sharp. "Check your locks, maybe the wind or pipes, you're overthinking it." I didn't feel reassured. That night I heard it again, the slow, deliberate pacing, but this time a voice, faint. Like someone speaking underwater, it said my name. I didn't move. The sound came from above the apartment above mine, which, according to the landlord, was empty for months. I had a choice, leave, call the police, or face whatever it was. I chose to face it. I climbed the narrow staircase to the empty apartment. The door creaked as I pushed it open, the air stale and cold. Nothing but dust and old furniture. But then I saw it, a camera pointing down the hallway right at my apartment door. It wasn't mine. I felt my stomach drop. Who could be filming me? I stepped closer, trying to shake off the fear. As I approached the camera, a whisper floated from the corner. "I see you." I froze. The apartment was empty, or so it seemed. But the air was thick, heavy, almost alive. I thought about calling the police, but what could I even tell them? Someone who isn't there is filming me? They would laugh. Or worse, they wouldn't believe me. I backed out slowly and slammed the door behind me. But the moment I stepped back into my apartment, I realized something worse. The camera wasn't in the other apartment. It was here in my living room. And on the screen, my own face stared back at me, only it was different. Hollow, smiling, and moving in ways I wasn't. I stumbled backward. The shadow appeared. Beside me in the reflection of the glass cabinet. It didn't move like a person. It moved like it knew me, like it had practiced mimicking me. The whisper came again, closer now. "You can't hide." I ran to my bedroom, locked the door, and grabbed my phone. The battery was dead, all of it. No lights. No sounds from outside, only the faint scraping of footsteps around my apartment. Pacing, circling, waiting. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. I had no idea. The sun hadn't risen yet, but the whispering stopped. For a moment there was silence. Absolute silence. As if the apartment was holding its breath. Then I heard it. A soft knock on my bedroom window. I froze. Nobody could be outside. The building was on the 3rd floor. I crept closer, heart pounding. And when I looked, nothing. Just the reflection of my own terrified face. But then in the reflection behind me, the shadow was there, smiling. Silent, mimicking every twitch of my body. I don't remember falling asleep. But I woke up to find my apartment empty. No camera, no shadow, nothing. I told myself it was a nightmare. But my phone was lying on the floor. Screen cracked, and a single message flashed. I'm still above you. I moved the next day. I never looked back, but sometimes, late at night, I catch movement and reflections just out of the corner of my eye. A shadow pacing. And I know it's still there, watching, waiting just above me. Even now I can feel it.